So, this is Adam 2 for 1. Yeah, my view is about today. I'm gonna talk about how, you know, try not to go into situations expecting stuff. Because people make stuff like, man, all I gotta do is go to Chicago, and I'm gonna talk to the kids, and I'm gonna give them my wisdom, and then yeah, all the murder's gonna go down, man. Yeah, that's all I gotta do, man. I'll just come with my wisdom, and all I gotta do is talk to him like a man, or eye to eye, man to man, and yeah, man, I'm gonna stop crime. It's like, yeah, it's not gonna work. That's not reality. A lot of times, like, people go into situations thinking they have all the answers, and it's like, all I gotta do is just do this, and then this will happen. And I've seen a lot of cases where people, nice people, humanitarian type people, see, when they help to see the people in their community, these are people who share your value. These are people who are like you. So when you help these people, you're gonna get a certain result because they share your values and they're like you. But you can't go into every situation thinking that everybody is like you and they share your values. So I've seen a lot of cases where there's people that humanitarian type people, they want to help people, and they go to India or something, and they think, yeah, man, all I gotta do is bring my wisdom and bring my kindness and bring my love, and they're just gonna embrace me, and nothing's gonna happen. It's gonna be great, and they end up dead. And there was this woman that she's one of those kind of like naive type people where they think they know everybody and think everybody's the same. And think, okay, no, it doesn't matter what country you go to. If you bring your love and you bring your kindness, they will just embrace you, and it's going to be great. So here she goes. She goes on this trip. I think she went to like, it might have been Egypt or Afghanistan or something like that. And she was riding her bike. I think she rode her bike from somewhere to, I don't know where she was going, but she went to, well, a Muslim country, basically a Muslim country, Islamic country, I don't know, anyway. And she went there because she thought she was going to help these people. It was going to be great. All I got to do is give my wisdom. They will embrace me. Nothing's going to happen. As soon as she goes there, she ended up raped and dead. I forgot what happened, but it didn't end well. That's all I know. And I guess by internet standards, she was considered like maybe like a hippie or a hipster, or she'd be called something like a hipster or a liberal or whatever. Something like that. That's by internet standards. That's what she'd be considered. I don't know if she was that or not. But yeah, she was one of those type of people. And that's not the first time that has happened. People that expect things, they don't, and they think, okay, here's another thing. It's like, you understand, like, just because you're loving, just because you're peaceful, doesn't mean everybody is. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you might go to Chicago and nothing will happen. Somebody else might go to Chicago and he will end up dead. So it's not that you have to be afraid and be like, well, one person might go to Chicago and maybe it would work. All I gotta do is give my wisdom, be loving, and it'll work out. But someone might hear that and be like, yeah, okay, you did that? Okay, so you putting people in danger because, you did something correctly, and they might slightly do something wrong, and they might end up in danger. So, and see, because everybody's an individual. You might go, and it might work, and then another person following you might go, and it doesn't work. So, and I hear it all the time, man. All we gotta do is be loving and caring, and yeah, and bring our wisdom, and and bring our like values, and yeah, it's gonna be great. That's the same thing the way our government is. Man, all we gotta do is go into Afghanistan and and give us our American values, man, and give us our religion and our democracy. It's gonna be great, right? They're just gonna accept it because it's better. And it's like it didn't work in Iraq, it didn't work in Iran, it didn't work in Afghanistan, it didn't work in America. Man, it didn't work in America, but it didn't work in China or Japan. They don't want our culture. We tried 50 times trying to bring our culture, and it didn't work. So we gotta stop just expecting certain things, or well, what we gotta do is just be loving. It's like, no, love is a shared thing. You have to be loving, and they have to be loving, and you gotta try to assess the situation and get most information as you can before you go into situations. Before you go to India and think you're gonna save the women from like child marriages or something, you got to get all the information about that village first, because in some of these Indian villages there'll be like groups of like gangs or something, gangs of Muslims that will come into the night and put a gun on your grandma and say, we're taking your daughter to be married. That's how they do it. You think they're showing up, you're like, okay, yeah, the traditional way, they come with their parents will come. You say, yeah, we want to marry your daughter. We want our son to marry your daughter, and then here's the agreement, here's some money, and then okay, we leave. No, that's not how it works. They'll come at gunpoint, point a gun at your grandma or your mother and say, we're taking your daughter, and we're taking your daughter by force to be married and to marry one of our sons. So, but because Americans or whoever they are, Europeans, people who don't think they need all the information, they go into situations and end up dead or beat up, get their hand chopped off because they don't have all the facts. So you think you're gonna go there? It's like they do it all the time, man. It's like, say, man, all I gotta do is go to Africa, and then I'll round up some African children, and then I'm gonna save them from their captors. And I like that bring our daughters back thing. Like, what do you people? I don't want to say it, but white people could do some dumb stuff. They think because that's another thing, another naive and unrealistic thing white people do too. They think because they're white that they can just go into any country and save everybody. Like, man, all I gotta do is go to Africa, people who've been captive by they watch too many movies, man. You watch those movies where the white people go into Africa and they save all the African children, or they go into India and they save all the Indian children. And some people actually believe that because they're not around environments that are challenging and different, and not around different types of viewpoints, and they haven't really seen the real world. I say different worlds, parts of the world. They think they can just go into any country, do whatever they want, and save all the African kids. So there's been instances a whole lot where people have gone into situations where they think they know everything, and they think, well, all I gotta do is go in there. I'm American, they're not gonna harm me. I'm white, they're not gonna harm me. I'm a woman, they're not gonna harm me. Well, I work for the government, they're not gonna touch me. You think people care about that? I mean, some of these countries, they burn people alive. They chop kids' heads off. They rape women in front of everybody. You think they care that you're white, or that you're American, or that you work for the government or something? I don't care about that. You go into a country where there's no cameras around. Nobody's never going to remember who you are. Why do you think, like, when CNN brings a reporter to a country, they bring a reporter that nobody knows who that person is. They're not bringing Brian Gumbel over there. They're not bringing Ted Koppel over there. Because if he end up dead, we're going to know about it. So they always bring journalists that you don't know who they were. So if anything happens, well, and if he ends up missing, well, no, I never knew who he was anyway. So people understand that love is a two-way street. We both have to love. You know, they have to earn love. You know, love is about learning. It's not about not learning. It's not, I'm going to give my love and you don't have to give anything. That's not how love works. Like, we both have to be loving. So if you're going to go into a situation to help people, you got to understand these people you're helping, they have to be loving. And everybody has to be loving around these people. They think about it though. If you're going to a situation where there's danger, there's no love there. That means that either your people you're saving are loving, but the people who are around these people that are making all this dysfunction, they're not loving. So you have to expect these people to be there. And people be going to this country with no weapons, no guns, no nothing. Like no type of protection. They don't be knowing the karate. They don't have no security guards. And like, what are you doing? And it's like, so ignoring things is not good. It's like, it's instances where people have gone into cities in America and they go in to save the gang members or whatever, and they end up getting robbed or raped or killed because they wasn't expecting, it's like they were expecting it to just work out. They had hope. And when you're dealing with anything, like, you have to know all the facts. It's like, you're not just supposed to have hope blindly. You need to know all the things that includes this hope. So I hope that the violence in Chicago will go down. It's like, but you have to also expect that it's not. So you don't have to like totally be blind. You can have hope and belief, but you're not supposed. It's not supposed to be blinded either. You can have hope and you can have doubt too. You can have belief and you can have doubt. You know, if you want to believe in God, you at least want to have some type of evidence or some type of facts and some type of reason why you do it. So with anything, you need to have all the facts. So, you know, and I see it, you know, you tell people, you say, why do you believe that? And they get all frustrated and everything. And it's like, that's because they don't have all the facts. If you tell a person, like, yeah, Muhammad, he was actually like a pedophile and and he was a murderer and all this stuff, they're gonna hear that. Well, it's two things. Like, you're expecting, if you tell them that, they're gonna be like, oh man, you're right. Okay, man, I'm gonna leave the religion. Don't expect them to leave the religion just because you told them that. Sometimes you can have all the facts, tell a person, and it still wouldn't make them turn and leave the religion or leave that concept. So I've told my brother about yoga and about how it's about demon worship, and he got offended. And I mean, a lot of, and I was expecting like, oh man, if I tell him, if I give him all the facts, he's just gonna leave it, and this is gonna be great. But I didn't think he was gonna leave it. I just wanted to give him the facts. I wasn't trying, like, a lot of times when you tell people stuff, they think that you're trying to convert them or something, or you're trying to convince them. I'm not trying to convince you anything. I'm just telling you the facts, and you can do whatever you want with them. I mean, my brother's like 1,000 miles away. I ain't gonna convince him. I mean, I don't know what he's gonna do. So it's like, Don't go into a situation and think you're gonna just convince people automatically. It ain't gonna happen. You're attacking people's beliefs, their lifestyle, their choices. So many people have been in religions and these groups and in cults for a long time. They've developed friends and friendships and enemies, whatever. You don't expect that you're just gonna change them. So I could say expect the unexpected. Yeah. So try to go into situations with enough facts. You're not gonna have all the facts, but try to get in situations where you can expect that, you know what, I don't think it's gonna work out. Have that, and then if it does, it's a better feeling if it does. Don't expect that it's gonna happen, but it's a better feeling if it end up working out. But two things: it can work out, and then it can not work out. You might go into a situation where you go into a village of women and you save them from being raped, and then the next day, the armed guards show up and take another woman. So try to understand that you living in a reality. You're living in real time. So you might go to a protest rally and you beat up some Trump supporters, and ones don't fight back, and then 2 seconds later one fights back and punches you in the face. So understand that you're living in real time. That time doesn't stop. So something good can occur and then something bad can occur. And don't expect that something good occurred, then it's going to be good every time. So like I said, you can go to a Trump rally and punch a guy in the face and he don't do nothing. But you might punch that next guy and then he'll punch you back. So don't expect that everybody is the same and then every outcome is going to be the same. So go into situations understanding that you're living in real time. This ain't no video game where you respond or something. We're living in real time. And good things can occur and bad things can occur. So, and try to have as much information as possible. If you want to go to Chicago and help those kids and you think, well, all you gotta do is give them a father. Like, do you even know who their father is? They don't know. The mother probably don't even know. These mothers have like 5 kids with 5 different fathers. You think she knows who the father is? I don't think so. She's living a promiscuous life. So she's having sex with everybody. So if the kids don't know who the father is, the mother don't know who the father is, then I don't know how you're gonna know. So I mean, I have the answer, but how am I gonna do it? I mean, unless I become their father. I mean, what if they don't accept me? So it's like you gotta expect. Sometimes you have to expect the negative. And a lot of people, they don't want to feel that way, but it's safer. And it's more intelligent to do that. Like, yeah, don't go into a situation thinking that you're just gonna convince the person and you're gonna save them. That's not how the world works. So yeah, basically expect the unexpected, and understand that if you're gonna be loving, it has to be a two-way street. You have to be loving and they have to be loving. That's the only way it's gonna work. Because there's no like, I'm gonna be loving and you're not. No, it's not gonna be I'm gonna respect you and you're not gonna respect me. Now it has to be both respect. So if you think you're gonna convince the feminists and you have to respect them, but they don't have to respect you. Now that's not how it works. It's like, no, we both have to have respect. If you think you're gonna save black people, all you gotta do is, no, they have to both respect you. For Black Lives to Matter or whatever, if you want to help black people, the black people themselves at first have to love each other. You can't expect others to love you. Blacks themselves first, we have to first love each other, and then we can get others to love us. But if we don't love each other first, it ain't gonna work. Anyway, love each other first, And then if others love you, that's great. If they don't, you know, then leave them alone. Don't try to convince them, convert them, or nothing. You know, just be yourself and watch your surroundings. You know, and understand that real life is real time. Things change all the time. Anyway, life is real time. That's all you gotta understand. Things change all the time. Alright, peace out.